Damn, we're already recording. You guys need to give me a countdown or nothing.
You didn't, bro. I just
That was
down.
Dom's countdown, bro. I need a specific one.
Dom didn't even count.
I needed Jay. I needed the old throwback. I needed the artist formerly known as Jay Beats throwback.
Bro, the symbol.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A crash, something, dog. Damn.
That's funny. Dog.
We going in this bitch hot. I'm gonna intro this shit right away because we got a guest on the pod that I've been wanting on since fucking episode 2, and we're finally here. You are now tuned in to Respect the Connect. I'm your host, Johnny James, and I'm back again with a few of my nearest and dearest. Jay just had a birthday, officially old man Trav's in the building.
Yup.
What's poppin', Jay?
This Monday's popping.
It's poppin'?
Poppin',
I thought
bro.
you were gonna say your back was because you're getting old.
You getting old, dog.
Shit, bro, don't be putting that shit on me. I'm getting aged. There's a difference,
Yeah,
dog.
that's
Seasoning.
Seasoning, bro. Len Words is in the building. What's poppin', Len Words?
The most seasoned of all.
The
Speaking
most
of
seasoned
seasoning.
of all. Okay. I see you. The season's popping. That's what's up.
Indeed.
My dog DJ Stigmata's in the building. Episode 109. Make some motherfucking noise.
Yes.
Hey,
Damn.
we here, baby, we here.
What's popping, my brother?
Man, it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, bro. Like I said, bro, we've been trying to do this for a minute.
Man, I mean, I feel like we've been like just on that road.
I know.
Together for a long time.
I
You
know.
know, simultaneously just growing.
It's crazy. It's so dope to see, my brother. When I see you out there rocking motherfucking arenas, I see you back there behind them ones and twos, bro, just fucking scratch it. Like, that shit's so dope and motivates me to keep pushing, bro. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Can't even front even a little bit, bro.
It just seems like yesterday that we were fucking rocking the jam spot together, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Remember fucking jam spot
yeah,
vibes, bro.
yeah, like-
the debauchery.
the first fucking waves of that shit.
Bro, you remember? Now it's been like 8 different clubs, and there was a jam spot again.
Yeah.
I think it's back to the jam spot, right?
I remember when it was it still called the jam spot when it was over there off of Lomas, and it was.
It was.
And
They moved it
Hobson was
from
like doing his first shows over there,
shit,
skateboarding
bro, that
in
was
the alleyway,
fucking Hobson
like,
banging on the pots and pans Hobson.
that was, yeah.
That's crazy, dog.
Literally.
Bro, what about the one that was right there on San Mateo, dog, that we all ran through that people always forget
Oh,
about?
that was the real underground shit.
Dog,
right there.
what the fuck was the name of that spot? Why can't I remember it now? I'm drawing a blank.
That homie Joe used to run.
Yeah, right by Peter Piper.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I cannot remember what the hell
God
it was
damn
called.
it. It started with a D.
And it was next to the smoke shop right there.
Bro, the
yeah.
show's over there.
Yeah, crazy.
Yikes.
Parking lot fights.
Parking lot fights,
Parking
the
lot
alleyway
parties.
fights. That alleyway back there, holy shit,
Yeah,
bro.
shit used to go down over there.
I did a show there with Doomsday, Twisted Insane.
Damn.
Bro, we were on the road with them. So we pulled in from fucking Tucson. Yikes. That was a whole nother conversation. That Tucson night was fucking crazy as shit, bro. One of the homies is like, we're gonna take this TV. I'm like, dog, they let us stay here. What the fuck you doing taking the TV? We good. Leave the TV here, bro. We got enough. All right? Let's go. So we get here and we pull up to the show and it's fucking packed, wall to wall. But the sound was fucked up, right?
Yeah.
And the homie Twisted Insane was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna say one word till y'all motherfuckers fix this shit.
Oh, shit.
Dog, we sat there for like 30 minutes. And he didn't, bro, he just stood on stage. And they fixed it. And then he started going.
There we go.
Yeah, and then he started going.
Yeah, the
But-
motherfuckers. That right there, though. You say those names right there. That's like kind of our roots, the horrorcore shit. You
it's
know what
crazy.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we come a long way since that. But
A long way, bro. I remember the first time I seen Twisted Insane, we had done a show, dog. I think it was me, it was Tech Nine, it was Romero, it was Twisted Insane. Baby Bash was on it, which was
but
you know,
he still for some reason was around that.
he was, dog.
Yeah.
He was. And I remember seeing Twisted Insane. He came out with his mask on, right? Remember he used to wear all like the crazy ass mask.
Yeah.
He came out. He took that shit. He was pop locking, bro, and he took that shit off and he dropped it, and he just started fucking going, spazzing, like. You know, Tech Nine rap.
He was a chopper.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like most of the time I didn't know what the fuck he was saying. And I'd go to lyrics.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying, dog, but he was killing it.
Yeah. No, Twisted Insane he was one of those ones.
He's still out here doing it too, huh?
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I see him from time to time. But
That's what's up,
Yeah.
bro. So we've started on music. We're gonna stay there for a while, my brother.
Yeah.
So, Stigmata. When did you fall in love with music, my brother?
Man, I think I truly fell in love with music probably like not till I was probably about like 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when, you know, you're starting to pay attention to what your parents are listening to, but you're also gaining your own like opinion about
For sure.
what's fresh, you know, what you like, what sounds good to you. Which my mom was always into like crazy heavy metal. She was into Metallica. She was into, you know, like the heavy metal, the hair stuff. You know,
she gave you the edge a little bit.
A little bit of the edge, yeah. And I think it's around that time that I was like, okay, like I like this, but for some reason I always gravitated to like, what's the next level of this?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, because my mom liked Metallica, that's how I discovered like Pantera.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all
Which
right,
is the next level to
Which
that.
is the next level. And then, you know, then you start meeting your homies in school, and then you meet their older brothers, and and then they really show you the shit.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? So I think like it's crazy because I don't know, how old are you when you're in like 4th grade?
That's like what? 8?
Yeah, so maybe around 8.
8, 9?
8, 9, yeah.
That sounds about right.
And I remember I was going to coach the elementary, and there was a new kid in school. His name was Andrew Baca, and he had an older brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mike Del Rio, and I'll never forget this motherfucker. He was the cool ass older brother. You know what I'm saying? He would come home after school, after we're kicking it, you know, at the homie's crib, and we kind of like sneak and like try to peek into his room, colored in posters.
See
like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? He's cool as shit. Like, what the fuck is he doing? And this dude was into Pantera. He was into ICP.
Yeah.
This was 98, 97.
Oh, so this was like Great Malenko.
Yeah.
This was like right there, yeah.
It was the peak of that shit, you know what I'm saying? Right when they were getting that true buzz across the country. And, I mean, he was one of them older brothers that like 99% of the time he was too cool for school. But there was that 1% where he was like, you guys come over here.
Come listen to this.
Come check this shit out.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And one day, he invited us into his room. Malenko had already dropped, and they put out that wrestling shit. What was it? Stranglemania.
Oh, damn, bro. So that was, okay, you got the Shockumentary.
Shockumentary was out.
And then Stranglemania.
And he played fucking Stranglemania for us. Played, I think, Forgotten Freshness, or one of them like that had just come out after Malenko.
Oh, shit.
The compilation.
Yeah, the Freshness was the double disc, huh?
The double disc with all the like, you know, outtakes and rare shit, you know.
That was the Santa Claus is a fat bitch. Yeah,
all
okay.
that shit.
Okay, yeah.
He played that shit through and through. And we watched Stranglemania, and it was like, you know, you're 9 years old watching that shit. There's blood, there's barbed wire bats, and, you know, all the crazy shit. And
yeah.
We were tripping out, and he was like, you guys want me to paint your faces up? And he fucking painted me and my homies painted us like Violent J and Shaggy, you know, and we hopped up on our BMX bikes and rode through the neighborhood. And I remember that shit like yesterday.
That's crazy,
My
bro.
life was different ever since that moment.
It's a trip, dog,
Yeah.
because that was a time right there, right? And you said the age was right, too, because I was like, at that time, like 13.
Yeah.
I was like 12 or 13 around that time.
Yeah.
Same era, right?
Yeah, 97,
And I remember
98.
hearing, like, because it was funny,
Yeah.
right? It was funny. Like, I remember, what was the one? It was the Nedden game, right?
yeah.
And he's like, when he talks about fucking slapping the dad across the face with a 40. I used to know the lyrics
Tell
perfect.
Tell a bitch to go get me a fucking Faygo.
Yeah, standing up on a bucket, trying to fuck it. Like at that age and that time, I was the funniest, craziest shit I had ever heard, bro. And it was the same. My cousin, she pulled up, bro, because at that time I was still living in San Fidel, bro. So my cousin Rhonda, she comes from Albuquerque like every weekend. She pulls up, she's all, you want to listen to some crazy shit? And I had already been listening to hip hop, right? So I was like, I always want to listen to some crazy
show me
shit.
what's crazy, yeah.
And it was a Great Malenko. And I was like, this is some crazy shit. This is fucking insane, bro. And again, there was something about how they did that at that time that turned you fanatical.
Yeah,
They
straight
did.
up.
What was that game show one they did, bro?
That was the Nedden game. The Nedden game.
that's
Yeah, it was on Great
That shit was
Malenko.
fucking funny, bro.
The way they did that, though, was so fucking genius, dog, because they weren't being played on radio. They weren't being played on MTV. So you had to, like, learn about them from somebody. And we're not... Lemwers is from Detroit. So he kind of understands, like more. But down here, dog, how far away are we from
still
fucking
paints his
Detroit?
face.
Right? Lenware's the secret juggalo. I'm waiting for the
Not even close.
Yeah, but were you in Detroit when they started bubbling at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, for
Yeah,
real?
there were kids in my high school because I'm a little older than you guys, so I was in high school around that time, and there were kids in my high school who were ditching and going to like their concerts. And
Really?
shit like that. Oh yeah.
Was it just as wild as it looked like from way down here? Because it looked like they had it cracking out there.
Right.
Well, yeah, they didn't cover it though. Like you didn't know about it.
You had to
unless
know somebody that knew somebody.
Yeah, I would hear the stories when they would come back
Yeah.
and they'd be like, "Yo, this shit's crazy," and I'm like, "I don't know what." The
Yeah,
fuck
if you
y'all
listen
talking
to
about.
their like history, like something about the way that they marketed themselves and the way that they were in the streets flyering and shit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like they didn't build it. They started off with selling shows out, which I don't know how the fuck they did it. They
Yeah,
did
bro,
it, though.
I think, you know what, as I got older, right, and I started thinking about it, because it was same, like, me and the homies were like, oh, bro, what, they're fucking dropping comics, shockumentary, this is crazy as
They
shit.
had everything.
My fucking walls were covered in all the Joker's cards, bro,
Yeah.
like, and it was like a solid, like, year to 2 years where we were, like, locked in,
Yeah.
bro. We drove out to fucking Phoenix, and we watched them, it was Snoop Dogg, Biohazard, no. Let me rephrase this. It was Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Oh, shit.
Snoop Dogg, Biohazard, and ICP. The whole fucking arena sat down for Mindless Self-Indulgence. It was the craziest shit I ever seen. Because the ICP fans, bro, they either like you or it's either we love you or fuck you.
Yeah, straight up.
There's like no in between. Remember
Yeah.
they were throwing shit at Tila Tequila that one time at the fucking gathering.
Oh, yeah, man.
And that was years. I'd already my train had already passed by then, right?
Yeah.
But we drove out to Phoenix. This was like the Jekyll brothers.
Okay.
We get out there, Snoop, Biohazard, Mindless Self-Indulgence, and ICP. And we're like 7th grade, dog. It's July in Phoenix. Our faces are painted. We showed up to the fucking arena at like 7 in the morning. The show wasn't until 7 at night.
Yeah, we used to do that shit all the time.
Bro, our faces were gray by the time we got into, because we were trying to get, like, we got to get a picture of the bus. We got to see him, like, trying to see him without their face paint on. It was this whole thing, dog, that they had built with no attention, which is crazy. I ain't never seen it since or before. I think the only thing I could, like, equate it to is the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, for sure. And it was around that time, you know, it was before the internet, so they were enigmas, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you, like, were into them, they were such a like a mysterious thing, you know, like you would never see them without their face paint. You would never see them out unless it was like a show or a signing or, you know, like, so that was the start.
The beginning.
That was the beginning, bro. And the Juggalo shit was, like, I say, of course, heavy metal first, and then the Juggalo shit.
Well, I mean, that one hand washed the other right there. That was perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it
You
would
talk
have been.
about Malenko, like, as I got older and like dove into and got into like production or like, you know, the shit behind the scenes of it, it's like, yo, they had fucking Slash on there. They had fucking Alice Cooper on that shit.
Yep.
You know, they got a crazy budget for that fucking record, and there was like really dope shit going on. Mikey Clark was just he's fucking a legend. You know what I'm
Legend.
saying?
To me, again, so I made it to the Jekyll Brothers,
Yeah.
right? And then after that, I just, you know, it ran its course.
Yeah.
But years later, one of my homies, Chase, he stayed a Juggalo forever. He still is.
Yeah.
I'll call him right now. He'll know exactly what the fuck's going on. But I didn't, because you know, remember, dog, it was crazy the way we would collect these Joker's cards. Like, so in each album, it was always like dedicated to the butterfly, right?
Yeah.
And like, we didn't know, like, you didn't know what it was leading to. And I didn't get to see the end. Years later, Chase was like, you want to hear the last Joker's card? And I was like, yeah, dog, what happened? Was it crazy as fuck? He's like, no, dog, it was all about God. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was all about God.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, dog, it's like a Christian album. I told him, don't fucking lie to me, dog. What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, bro, but you got to look at it this way, okay? It came out like right around the time of 9/11, okay? So the world was like in a different place. You feel what I'm saying? There was one song particularly that stuck out to me. What did they say? The carnival, what does it say?
The carnival is God. We've always been behind him.
Every Juggalo finds him.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So me missing 3 years, right? I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck we end up here? We went from Dead Body Man and now we're over here. This is crazy. What happened, dog?
Yeah.
But they kept this like this.
A theme. It was like
It was a theme. Each one had a different Joker on the front. Each one had a different intro. Like I'm looking right now, he's got the Ringmaster right here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I got up to, like you said, I went up to Jekyll Brothers.
To Jekyll Brothers, yeah. And that was when, and the Jekyll Brothers was dope. But I think for me, I didn't think we were gonna have a fucking 10-minute fucking ICP conversation to start this bitch, but here we go, dog.
It's the roots.
It's the
You're
roots,
talking to
right?
Stigmata.
Yeah, it's the roots. Got you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like for me, I think I agree. The Malenko musically was like peak
For sure. Yeah.
because like you said, bro, Halls of Illusions.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, that record's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And then Jekyll Brothers, I think, was peak popularity.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then they had ODB was on that motherfucker. They had
Exactly.
Snoop on that motherfucker.
And at that point, they were on MTV. You know what I'm
And
saying?
they were on MTV.
Late
but
night.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I remember the commercial. I recorded
commercial.
that bitch.
Yeah,
Bro, on my
hell yeah.
fucking VHS.
The box, bro. Remember the box?
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
You know what's funny is, okay, so when we went to Phoenix, I ended up getting on stage. So I'm in the 7th grade, bro.
Yeah.
And these shows, dog, were controlled riots at
yeah.
that point. Like,
sure.
I wasn't moving. I was dying of thirst. And when they started throwing Faygo on the crowd, I was like, I'm thirsty. Give me a bottle, bro. So by the end of the show, I had climbed over the railing and I got up on stage, right? I had 2 Faygo bottles standing right next to Violent J, like throwing them on the crowd. It was peak. I was like, yep, I could die right now. This is cool. I've made it. And the homies seen it. None of them got on stage but me. But I held on to these Faygo bottles, right? And I get off stage and my dad's like, fucking do with that. I was like, these are fucking... Do you realize what I could sell these for? You don't understand.
Yeah, you don't know what this is.
You don't understand. He's all, those are fucking plastic bottles, right?
Yeah.
I was like, no, you don't fucking get it. You just don't get it. I mean, they're fucking Faygo bottles. They're plastic bottles, dog, but I still have one. I still saved one, bro. I don't have, swear to God, it's still in the back of the storage. I can't get rid of it.
That was the thing.
dog.
I remember, like, because where we were at, you know, geographically,
We didn't get Faygo.
we didn't get Faygo.
No.
So
Oh,
if,
yeah.
if there was Faygo anywhere, it was like, yo, that shit's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I remember Big Lots having some shit
When it
every
collected
so
it, huh?
often. Yeah, like you'd get some glass
The
bottles.
glass bottles, that's all we had. We didn't have the plastic ones.
Oh, really? It was like a big deal. It was
I
a
built
big deal.
shelves
we had all
in.
that shit.
I built shelves in my room. This is gonna sound stupid to you because you're from Detroit and had Faygo. I built shelves in my room to store the empty glass Faygo bottles.
Yeah. No,
Don't
same,
laugh,
same,
Landwords.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see.
I'd have
I
grabbed
know.
that shit,
But
threw it in
like,
for
so
10
That's how
cents
it was,
quick.
you know what I'm saying? It was like that's what they did because even though it was like the fucking East Coast Shasta to us, that was gold.
It was gold. And I convinced myself that it did taste good. The orange one was The Coke one, gee,
Nah, Orange
I don't
Faygo
know,
was the
buddy.
shit, yeah.
Orange Faygo was fire, right? It was better than fucking the Fantas. I didn't want a Fanta. I wanted an Orange Faygo.
Nowadays they sell it at the Four Winds.
Now it's everywhere. Right? Now people throwing a 4 in a Faygo. I'm like, bro, you don't realize what you got, bro. We had to fight. We had to fight for them motherfuckers.
Yeah, there's rappers
You don't
that are
realize
named
what
after
you
Faygo now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy, and it's interesting too because my evolution as like an artist and like an MC, right, was it was a natural progression with that. So
Yeah.
I went straight to like lyrical stuff instantly. I didn't used to even like listen to beats,
Yeah.
but then I was at that age where like they were, because I love horror movies,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they were talking about crazy ass, dark, horrific shit,
Yeah.
and it was funny. I was locked and loaded, dog.
Yeah.
And then along comes this other dude from Detroit talking about, I want to treat you to a Faygo and a slice of pizza. I was instantly an Eminem fan, dog. Because I was an ICP fan, I was a giant Eminem fan out the gate. And this was before they had their this was Slim Shady,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that was why I was like, oh shit, he's from Detroit. He's talking about fake. All right.
Yeah, right away. Yeah,
Cool.
I remember being at Hastings, copping that CD, thinking like, "Oh, they for
Cool.
sure they got to be fucking with each other."
Oh, they got to be.
Yeah.
And then
the rest is history. But
then we heard. I think it was. I don't even know what mixtape it was on, bro. But we got Slim Anus down here.
yeah, it was on the
And
Psychopathics from Outer Space, the
that's
first
what
one,
it
and that was a rare CD.
Bro, I still have that
Me too.
motherfucker.
Me too.
What the fuck, dog? That's crazy.
Yeah, I downloaded that shit off Kazaa.
Yeah, because
Talk about fucking computers up.
I had. You know how I got the Psychopathics from Outer Space? I got the AP album, the AP magazine.
Oh, yep.
And they had like
press.
50, it was alternative press. Remember when they're on the cover?
Yep.
They had like 50 Psychopathics from Outer Space, and I got one of those 50.
Yeah,
Crazy.
That's rare shit.
Yeah, and it had the Slim Anus on it.
But see,
and I was like,
that's
oh,
what
shit.
they did. They created this shit
It's
where everybody
great.
was like,
and it's still burned in, bro.
Yeah,
It's a core.
yeah.
These are core memories here,
Yeah.
dog. And then fuck, he fucking murked them. I mean, it was. I mean, they're not. You can't compare the lyrical abilities of the two.
No,
It's completely
can't.
different,
Yeah.
right? Completely.
And at the time, as a fan back then, it's like, oh no, I'm siding with my juggalos. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
and
saying?
see-
But when you go back like years later, like now, like
yeah.
come on. You
And
know
see,
what I'm
and
saying?
at that time, that was when I had okay. So Jekyll Brothers dropped, and then I was like, oh shit, Eminem, all right, I'm rocking. We're Detroit still.
Yeah.
I went this way. And then I was like, oh shit, now they're beefing. I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. And then Em's like, you damn right, Slimanus. I don't get love, bro. I was like, shit, dude.
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
He
And then
ended that one.
Then he went on tour and he had the blow up dolls. Bro.
Yeah, bodied him.
That dude. Yeah, he embodied the culture of it and how to battle.
How to battle, yeah.
Which we'll circle back to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about a recent battle, but we won't get there yet, Dom. All right, Dom. So that's interesting, bro. We kind of got a similar little foundation there, my brother.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I remember you coming out with the mask type shit,
with the fucking Jason mask. You remember Jay for the American Psycho, and that came from it was those type of themes, bro.
Yeah, because everybody that's the thing is they really set the foundation for that. You know what I'm saying? Even I know that was a whole discussion and a whole, even Tech gotten beef with ICP because of, ICP talking about like, oh no, the Juggalos are the foundation of what,
what he started,
what he built his shit on, and Tech was not having that, like I earned my shit type, but if you look at what they did, like
they gave, brother, it's the same blueprint.
Yeah.
I mean, his technicians, but again, he did earn it.
Yeah,
they took a lot of, I just said, mindless self-indulgence, brother.
Oh, yeah.
They had them on the road, right?
Yeah.
But they also had Tech Nine,
They had
right?
Tech Nine, yeah.
Tech Nine is one of the greatest MCs of all time. I know a lot of
shout out
people.
Tech Nine.
I know a lot of people that don't give him his flowers because they're like, I know he can rap, but it's just not my kind of music, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. The motherfucker can, bro. I'll put him against.
There's always that
lyrically.
conversation. I always have that conversation about like just really talented MCs in general. You talk about your Tech Nines, you talk about your Eminems. They win at rapping. You might not be able to bump them fucking constantly, but they're they're masters of their craft.
Every time Eminem talks about getting molested by his stepfather, I skip those records. Like, I can't relate.
Some songs where you just
gotta keep on going, dog. Like, I don't relate, dude. Like, you killed it. That was a smart rhyme scheme.
That reminds me of that one Ritz record where he's talking about a home invasion or some shit.
Yeah.
I gotta skip that shit. That shit gives me fucking anxiety.
Bro,
Just
flashbacks, bro.
Skip that.
Ritz too, Ritz can fucking
He can rap.
And see, that's for me. That's my foundation too. Like, I always gravitated towards super lyrical, intricate, like Bone Thugs, like Twista. That shit was like mind blowing to me. I'm like, how the fuck are they? I just studied that shit.
Have you heard any of the new Bone Thug shit that they're gonna be dropping?
They just dropped a new song, and it sounds better than what they've done before. I'm not saying it's my favorite that they've done, but it definitely is showing promise, and it's all of them.
Yeah,
Some of these cats are so relentless that they just don't stop. They gotta eventually hit again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, you gotta hit again.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
They haven't stopped. It's like the Cottonmouth Kings. I think about them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we could talk about that, like full circle moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being a little ass kid looking up to those dudes like they were fucking everything to me.
Bro,
that was my alpha, my omega, everything. And then fucking fast forward 15 years down the road, and I ended up going on a little tour with,
that's
D-Loc
so
and fucking
crazy.
It definitely wasn't the Cottonmouth Kings that we knew, but it was still, he was like, yo, I need a DJ, and fucking, are you down to do this shit? I'm like,
are you kidding?
That's like like Jay-Z asking fucking, some fan that, like,
hey, bro, come up here and fucking be my hype man.
Duh, I don't give a fuck.
Shit. That was probably crazy as fuck, though, dog. Because I was thinking about that before we sat down. Because again, I know your foundation and my foundation are similar in certain situations, right? Yeah. Cottonmouth Kings are another group that went on tour with ICP.
Yeah.
And it was a similar It was a similar like way that they did it.
Yeah.
They built these super fucking fans. They were super consistent. They toured like a motherfucker. They had all kinds of merch. Yep. They had DVDs. They had behind the scenes. They had all of it, bro.
Yeah, before the internet.
This was pre-internet. So you're talking, listen, I know the numbers and how to print these things, right? DVDs are like $3, bro. CDs, dog, even if you only got 1,000, that shit was like $1 a pop, my dude. They were selling these bitches at the show for like $16 to $20, my dude. That was fucking, bro, I was nowhere near the level of Cottonmouth Kings, and I'd hit the flea market and walk away with like 5 racks a weekend.
Yeah.
So that was like some shit. But
They knew how to do it. Yeah.
and they were able to build a foundation of fans that no matter what, they were gonna pull up.
Yeah.
No matter
Straight
what.
up.
So that was probably, you were probably like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? How the fuck did this even happen?
No, for
Take me
sure.
back there, brother. How did you end up in that position?
So I don't know. I'll kind of throttle it back a little bit. Like, so, obviously, Juggalo through and through, that led me to meeting a bunch of the people that I got to meet on my journey. You know what I'm saying? So, in those early years, it was very rocky, and I was always the weird kid. You know what I'm saying? I was in elementary with all the gangsters, in fucking middle school with the extra gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when everybody's getting real thugged out in the North Valley. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what was crazy is that shit saved me. You know what I'm saying? It kept me out of the shit just enough to be like, where the gangbangers were like cool with me, but they were like, but you can't come.
Yeah, no, you're cool.
You stay over there, but you're cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll come back and kick with you after we go do this fuck shit.
Yeah, exactly. Type shit. So, but that's how I started to meet people. And when I got to Valley High School, there was the Juggalo table, and I was like, fuck, those are my people right there. So I met my homie Alex, and he introduced me to his homie Chris, and they were the first people that I ever met that made music.
Oh, shit.
And they had their OG homie. His name was Weddle Loke. Closed casket. Fucking, he lived 2 houses down from Chris. They used to go to Q.
Man.
And record. And they were fucking, these kids were, were in fucking 9th grade. They're fucking 15 years old. And they were working at fucking Bob's Burgers or whatever, and fucking using their whole checks to go and spend at Q studio. And Q was, he was fucking recording everybody at that time.
Everybody.
He had that whole little ghetto ass apartment complex.
Bro,
and
all the
signs,
Triton racks
there was
never
like,
used
no
them.
kids allowed.
No
type
kids,
shit.
no pictures. I used to ask him, where the fuck are you sleeping, Q? Are you hanging upside down like a bat? There's not a bed in here,
He
dog.
might have been, bro. Talk about another enigma. That motherfucker was an enigma.
An enigma
Bro.
on top of an enigma.
Yeah.
He had Triton racks. And he's all, nah, it's cool. I'll just use my keyboard. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Q? He would use his keyboard for his computer to make beats. He's all, it's the same shit. I told him, no, dude, it's not, Q.
No, so this dude was recording my homies Alex and Chris and Weddle Loke and a bunch of these like rappers that they had in their circle, and he was engineering all their sessions, and they were dropping whole paychecks over there, and we'd spend day and night, and I was the youngest one over there at the time, you know what I'm saying, and he let me kick it, he let me chill, and I remember just like peeping game. I was sitting back like, sure, I'd pick up a pencil every so often. These guys are playing beats back to back.
Gotta write something.
But rapping never really felt like my thing, It was just like, I could write poetry and shit like that, but I was never able to get enough confidence to like, put it on a mic
and actually
like
rap.
that. Yeah. But I was peeping game the whole time. Like I was always just in the back, and they'd be doing, they were doing fucking horrorcore shit. They were doing fucking funny shit. I remember they wanted to make a sound of a head getting chopped off. They brought the fucking paper cutter in, whoosh, and dropped a fucking big ass melon on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
And Q was with the shit.
He made it sound like a head got cut off in that bitch, bro.
Q was with that shit.
Yeah, and so I was just peeping game back then, and as time went on, I really wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to I was like, man, how do I be a part of this shit? But I was always peeping the shit in the background of the music. ICP, they always had the scratches, and I was like, man, I want to do that.
Yup.
And it was around 2009, so it was like, I'd already dropped out of high school, but I was still kicking with them every day. Alex was the homie of mine that took shit a little bit more seriously. He was a lyricist. He was a rapper, and he was gonna be a rapper, and he was just dead set on it. There was he had that mindset already,
Couldn't tell him nothing. That's what he wanted.
That's what he was gonna do. So 2009, it was Valentine's Day. His birthday was on Valentine's Day. And for his birthday, I decided I'm going to buy myself my first fucking pair of turntables.
Sick.
And I went, and at the time, DJ Clay already existed. He was already doing shit with ICP, and there were some little videos online, and I was like, man, well, I guess, I got to get with the time. So I'm gonna buy myself a CDJ. So I got myself a little Pioneer CDJ.
That's crazy.
A fucking Pioneer 400 CDJ and a Pioneer 400 mixer. And I only had enough money for those two things. I didn't have enough money for the second CDJ.
Yeah.
So I got those, and I took them home, and I set them up in my closet with my fucking ghetto-ass speakers, and I fucking hooked it up to a DVD player. So I'd fucking play my Necro instrumental on the DVD player, and I fucking had a Cat Williams comedy CD that I put in the fucking CDJ, and I would scratch the sound of the crowd applauding.
Sick.
And I must have practiced that shit for... Talk about 10,000 hours. I probably practiced that fucking shit for 10,000 hours.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
In my closet, just like cutting the sound of the fucking audience. You know, it sound like, you know, later on you find the ah sample and all the classic scratch samples, but that to me, the frequency was like,
It was right. And this was before you
That's
could.
dope, dude. I bought a CDJ at a yard sale, bro, and I took it to Lessman's. They they repaired it, and that's how I like. Cause Pro Tools used to didn't give you the record stop. Like, so I would fucking burn what I was mixing. Yeah. If I wanted that shit, that effect on there, I'd burn it onto a rewritable. Plug that into there, find that spot, cue it up, record that shit.
And that's what was fresh, is that you would figure out shit like that.
Dog.
You know what I'm saying? You would figure out shit like that.
And this was before we could sit there and watch YouTube tutorials. You had to do it yourself.
I was mixing TZ Land with that
shit.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of just had to figure it out, you know? And so, I just kind of like kept getting into it. But what was crazy about this, you know, instance is that literally, like, so timeline-wise, bought the gear. I was like, I'm going to be my boy Alex's DJ.
Fuck yeah.
Like, I'm going to be his DJ. And I want to say just over a month later, we were all kicking it. We had mad practice sessions, you know what I'm saying? He'd rap, I'd be fucking scratching and shit in the bedroom. And one night, all the homies came through the crib. And it was like any other night, we were all kicking it, smoking, fucking said later everybody, said later my homie. He went home, and then the next day, his roommate called me. I was having lunch at Duran's, and he didn't answer the phone when I was on my way to Duran's because I was trying to take him to lunch with me. And I was like, man, fucking what the fuck, where's Alex at? And he lived really close to the courthouse at the time, like right around the corner. And so Duran's, everything's all right there, you know? So I'm sitting there having my enchiladas, and fucking one of these chicks at the counter that he liked was like having a conversation to her coworker about like some spooky shit. And I was like, man, where the fuck is Alex? He could be spitting game right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is his moment right now.
This is his moment. He could be fucking just spitting game to this chick. So I call him one more time while I'm sitting there. No answer. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, this motherfucker could be dead and nobody would know it.
Fuck.
And not even 5 minutes later, his roommate called me. And he was like, Jay, you gotta get the fuck over here. I think Alex is fucking dead. His door's locked. He's fucking not answering the door.
Fuck.
I book it over there. Fucker had taken some methadone pills.
Oh, shit.
Fell asleep, never woke up. And I was like, whew, like,
fuck,
that was my boy, you know what I'm saying, right there. And I was like, in that moment, I had like a crisis, bro. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, we were supposed to do this shit together. And I said, fuck it, bro. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this shit for him. And exactly a year later, on the anniversary of his death, 1 fucking year later, I got booked on my very first show at the fucking Launchpad.
For real?
1 year later, yeah.
That's fucking wild,
and
bro.
And it was just, you know, it was some little shit, you know, like it was Jiggy June.
Oh yeah,
Jiggy fucking
shout out Jiggy. Yeah.
He had, you know, they had all that fizz shit going on back then. It was like, you know, Mac Dre was the fucking shit. He had just died also, and fucking like it was taking over the whole country.
Yeah. Joe D was out here on his Thiz Latin too.
Bro,
yeah.
You remember that shit?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Had their cars and fucking
crazy,
everything, bro.
dog.
So yeah, they were like, yo, you want to fucking DJ this shit, you know? And fucking, I wasn't even on the stage. They put me at the fucking little corner by the fucking sound booth. And I was like, fuck
got it done though, dog.
Fuck it, let's run it. You know what I'm saying? And I was fucking, that was my start. And as fate would have it, that day, that show, that night, I met Hunter.
Oh shit.
I met Hunter. And Hunter was on his shit back then. Hunter was that dude, bro, and he was on the come up, and he wanted to put something together, and he came to me and like listened to the shit that I was playing, and he was like, bro, I need a DJ. Like, are you down to fucking DJ for me? And I was like, fuck yeah, bro. Like, I fucking raised your shit. I had just barely seen his live performance that night, you know, and he was on some like Juggalo shit too, you know.
You guys matched. That was perfect.
It was perfect, and and we linked up, and then he started to put together like a collective, he wanted to have a band. So he went from turning from Hunter to it turned into was it Rough House? Rough House.
Yeah.
And he brought on January Black.
I remember.
And he brought on Emilio, and it was like we had a drummer, and we had a second MC, and I think he brought on like a guitar player, but that was like real short lived. But he got booked for his first big show, and he wanted us to all be a part of it. So, mind you, I'm a waiter at my grandparents' restaurant at Mary and Tito's, and fucking.
You guys heard it. We're gonna circle back to that too, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we'll touch base on that too. But it's just real crazy the way that all of this worked, because we got booked on this show, and I, was like, damn, we're fucking gonna play a show at Sunshine. Like that was crazy to me.
That's what we always wanted to do.
Yeah, like, yo, we're making it to the big top stage. Like that, to me, that sounded like, yo, we're actually doing this shit. So we get there, we're setting up. It's for we're opening up for the Yo Gotti concert.
Oh shit, I remember the show.
That's dope.
And that shit, like, I didn't know who the fuck Yo Gotti was. That was definitely not our demographic, but we fucking set that shit up. We played the show, we rocked it. We're kicking it backstage, and I look around and I see one of my good customers backstage, and it was my boy Thomas from Tuzani, and I was like, and that was the first time I seen him back there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is what I do, bro," and it was just like our introduction.
Crazy.
And I had been seeing him for years. He'd been bringing his family in, and obviously since way before that he was a customer, and so Albuquerque shit, like, all right. And then that night, our very first big show, right? We're fucking loading out, and I'm driving my '68 Cadillac. I pull that bitch to the back of the fucking alleyway, and that's what I treat it like my truck. You know what I'm saying? That's where I carry all my DJ gear and shit. We pop the trunk. We're loading my DJ gear in. All of a sudden, all hell broke loose in that fucking parking lot across the street.
Albuquerque shit.
Fuckers started shooting. Everybody's ducking. Fucking bullets are like actually whizzing by, like, type shit. And I guess literally it was a Bloods and Crips fight.
You guys were in the middle of?
And some dude got fucking shot, laid out in his car right there. And it was like profound. This was around the time that like Facebook first got started. I remember going home and writing this fucking big old like heartfelt post about that shit, because it was so heavy. It was like, yo, we just did our first show. Somebody lost their life last night.
Crazy.
Like crazy shit, But all these things were happening, and the music was just like keeping us pushing forward, and we kept meeting people. And as time went on, Hunter was doing shows at places like Burt's, and that's how I met Wake Self. Wake Self used to run hip hop night at Burt's, and back then, like, if you got embraced by those dudes,
it was different.
It was like, oh shit, like, if they fuck with you, like, you're actually like respected. And I remember, like, and that was the thing about me, especially and to this day still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't the top 10 DJ type shit. I wasn't playing the radio shit. I was always playing the weirdest shit. You know what I'm saying?
You can't come from a who's going chicken hunting background to fucking Beyonce, dog.
That was never my shit. So I stayed true to like playing the weirdest shit, and even though I was playing the weird shit, Wake and Def, they still embraced me.
Really?
And I remember them coming up to me and giving me props, and that was like a moment where I was like, it was like a check. It was like a check off on the list. Like, all right, I'm on the right path. I'm gonna keep doing this shit. And as time went on, we kept working with Hunter. We had a falling out because of like Juggalo shit. It ended up like he was trying to separate from the Juggalo shit. I was still like super into it, but that turned into a different band. We turned like the remaining members of Rough House into a different band called Ghetto Blast.
I remember that too.
And
I'm trying to think, what the fuck show was it? Who did we open up for together? And it was you. It was when it was you, Hunter. Still January. I think you guys were still Rough House. Or you had just turned to Ghetto Blast.
Yeah.
It was a fucking. You were there too, Jay. Who the fuck was
bro?
it?
It was at that fucking crazy ass club in the North Valley.
It was Brother Lynch.
Brother Lynch. That's right.
That's who it was. Remember, because we were walking up and down, but we were all wilding the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were wilding. And
It was at the Evolution, right?
That's what it was. That was a random ass club on a random ass night, and we were all on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that, were you guys still Rough House? Was you guys, was that
we were
Ghetto
still
Blast?
Rough House at the
That's
time.
what I thought.
Yeah. So we had Emilio drumming.
Because that was the first time I had met Hunter.
Yeah.
Because we, you know how it is, bro. Like it's a small community, dog. We all cross paths, which is
For
crazy.
sure.
With it's the weirdest shit ever, dog. Like me and Wake, bro. We never, ever, ever met each other or seen each other here in Albuquerque. Not one time.
Really?
We always ran into each other on the fucking road. It was the weirdest shit ever, dog. And the last time I seen him, I remember I just got off the road from Vegas, and he was coming in, I think, from Cali or some shit. But we both ended up at the Juggernaut in Gallup, right?
Oh shit!
And
there you go.
he just got off stage, and I'm about to get on stage, and like I went to the bathroom. He's in the. I'm like, dog, why the fuck we always run into each other on the road, dog? Like, when we can actually kick it when we're in Albuquerque? Like, this is weird, dog.
Yeah.
And that was like the last time I had ever seen him, bro.
Yeah. R.I.P. Wake South.
Yeah, man. Good dude, bro. His music is gonna live on forever, dog.
Bro,
he
forever.
represented New Mexico in the fucking rock,
Through
dog,
and through.
through, dog.
a true hustler.
True, bro. And loved. He bled hip hop, brother.
Bro.
Just like I do. And see, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. Whether you were playing the weird shit or not, it doesn't matter, bro. You're still bleeding hip hop. You respect it. You can tell, bro. You can tell just by the way you DJ, my dog. Like for real, bro. And someone that respects hip hop can recognize another person that is a hip hop head, regardless of what facet of the tree that they focused on.
The essence. It's
exactly.
the essence. Yeah.
It's the essence
And I think that's like my saving grace is that, like, what got me into it is like ICP and hearing those scratches in the backs of their albums, but then that made me do the deep dive. You know what I'm saying? It was like, all right, like, who was really doing this shit?
For sure.
Q-Berts, you know what I'm saying? DJ Craze. And, you know, fast forward for me, a pivotal moment was, you know, so because Tuzani and I made that connection at that time, he started putting me on shows.
Sick. It was perfect. It was
He
how it
put
was
me
meant
on.
to be,
He
dog.
put me on a Devin the Do show at the Launchpad, and then shortly after that, Yellow Wolf came to town, and this is right around like the time when Yellow Wolf came to town just previously with Wiz Khalifa, and literally got booed off stage.
Damn. Really?
Because it was like the wrong mix. You know what I'm saying? But he's another one that would just stayed relentless and true to his shit,
what.
and came back and sold out Sunshine on his own, and. You know, Tuzani put me on that show. That was my first like big show solo. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, get on there, fucking do your shit.
That's another one that matches perfect though, dog. Come on, bro. That's like
No,
right
for sure.
there, bro.
And I'll never forget that shit because that tour was called the Fuck It Tour. And Hobson opened up for fucking Yellow Wolf, right?
Yup.
And Yellow Wolf. Shout out Yellow Wolf because he always had the dopest DJs. He had the fucking, and I don't know if it was because of Shady, being signed to Shady, like he had access to the dopest motherfuckers. He had DJ Vajra, who was like DMC champion. He had literally every fucking dope ass DJ you could think of while he was on tour. And for that Fuck It tour, he had a DJ by the name of DJ Clever, who was also a DMC champion, just
Beast,
a
too.
beast. DJ Clever it doesn't get any better than him. And that night, he needed a chord. He didn't have like an RCA chord or some fucking random chord, and I got to hook him up. I had one, you know, and we became homies, bro. Like that was like that. And then I had never, you know, heard of him or heard of his shit before, but I saw him on stage that night. I saw what he did, and that literally it fucking flipped my wig down the block, bro. Like that changed the game for me because I went home and I started looking up his shit, listening to his mixes, watching YouTube shit that existed, and it elevated the game for me. It was like, oh, I gotta get on this level.
That's
you know
crazy, bro.
Like this is what I want to do. I want to be able to like DJ for dope ass MCs and like be able to scratch like that, you know. And he lent that inspiration for me, bro. And like, shout out DJ Clever. He fucking
He's a fucking beast,
really
dog.
dope.
Yeah.
Everything that him and Yellow Wolf, because you know,
yeah,
you
they're on the road right now. You know what I'm
Still.
saying? Like,
and you could hear it. Like again, Yellow Wolf fan here too. Like Pop the Trunk obviously is what caught all of our attention. That was pre-Clever, though, right? That was
pre-Clever. Yep.
That was what was the name of the label that he was on at that time? I can't even think of it. I'm drawing a blank. But that was pre-Clever.
Yeah.
Still dope. Yellow Wolf was always going to be dope,
Always.
no matter what. The motherfucker,
Sickest
bro,
MC.
come on, bro. Mossy yoked up a bag in the back of the trunk, boy. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro. I got kicked out. I got kicked out of Yellow Wolf when he came. I think it was Launchpad. It was the first time Ritz had come down, right?
Yeah.
And I was wilding out, being a stupid fuck.
Hell
but I'm
yeah.
a huge Yellow Wolf fan, right? So right when that came on, I started fucking wilding out. I was smoking trees. Security seen me fucking being a dumbass, and rightfully so, threw my stupid ass out, right?
Yeah.
So I missed the rest of the performance, but. Man, Yellow Wolf was, you could always tell that he had it. Wherever, like, he was going somewhere. And I think people, they devalue Yellow Wolf's contributions. They try and act like he ain't got records with fucking Joel Santana, with Marshall. He's got records with hip-hop legends, bro.
Literally, bro.
Like, a lot of them, bro.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's got a full album with Ed Sheeran, bruh. Before Ed Sheeran even cracked off.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And he's still out here doing it and constantly evolving. And for me, as an MC and as an artist, I've always respected artists that are like, fuck it, bruh. I'm going to do me. If you don't like it, I really don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to evolve. I'm going to do Pop the Trunk, and then I'm going to do Love Story. He's constantly evolving as an artist, and I've always respected it. I've said this a few times. I remember when I became a Nirvana fan. I'll never forget it, and I've always gravitated towards artists like Kurt Cobain, right? I was watching MTV. It was probably like 92, I don't know, some shit like that. It was a long time ago, bro. And I'm watching MTV, and they're interviewing Nirvana, and Dave Grohl and homie that's the bass player, I always forget his name, were just so excited, bruh. MTV's there filming them. They're like, yeah, man. Blah, blah, blah. And they pan over to Kurt. His hair's a fucking mess. He's wearing sunglasses. And they're like, Kurt, so, what do you think about your newfound fame? Like, is there something you don't like about it? And he looked dead in the fucking camera and said, this shit.
This is what
I hate
like.
this shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you guys. I just want to make music. Brother, my little 7-year-old self was like, that's badder than fuck right there.
Yeah.
Fuck these guys. I for some reason, I always gravitated towards artists.
Yeah, with that attitude.
Yeah, bro, because look, dog, it's your art, bro.
Yeah.
Don't compromise it for anybody.
For anybody, yeah.
Do you. Like you said, bro, you love hip hop, but you weren't going to get up there and fucking spin the fucking top 10 hits because that wasn't you, dog.
That wasn't me, yeah. I was going to be in the weirdest setting, and you're going to hear what I like.
Do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to always find somebody that's like, oh, shit, that was fucking sick as fuck. Mm-hmm. I didn't know Esham could fucking be mixed in with Ritz and then drop that shit down to a Drake record. This is fucking crazy. Right?
Yeah.
But you're going to find your people. I say the same thing about Mac Miller. Like, hip-hop, bro, has grown so much over the years. And it's still an infant. This is a baby, right? Like, I mean, I was born in 85. So you're talking, that was about 10 years before that, right?
Yeah.
Hip-hop was in its foundational pieces, right? Still young as fuck. It's a young genre. So we've like split off into all these different like subcategories, right?
Yeah.
From the same roots. But if you're true to who the fuck you are, whether you're Eazy-E or Mac Miller, you're going to find your audience.
Yep, straight up.
Because Mac Miller, again, one of the dopest motherfuckers ever, bro. Ever. And he wasn't out here on some shoot 'em up, bang, bang, I'm a motherfucking killer gorilla shit. Could you imagine? Imagine Mac Miller trying to be a gangster, dog. That would have been wild. It might have worked for, like that's like some Slim Jesus shit. Like, everybody thought that was funny. And then it was like, where is Slim Jesus now, my dude? I'm curious now, actually. Someone should Google that shit. Where the fuck is this? I'm a little genuinely concerned for Buddy. Don't you remember one time he was on a show, bro, and like they tried to rob him on stage. He was like they're like, what's up? And he was performing, and he's like, I don't know, man. I'm just like some dude, bro. Like, leave me alone. It was crazy.
Damn, no way.
After that, it was a rap. It's a rap. Yeah. But that goes back to not being yourself, bro. You're gonna pull
authenticity,
up.
bro. It just
it speaks volumes.
Sometimes it's the road. Well, a lot of times nowadays it's the road less traveled, and it might take you a longer time to get from point A to point B. But authenticity is
you can't buy
where
it.
it's at.
You can't buy it.
And this hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Not
like,
on you.
It's not to say that we can't like be inspired by shit.
Oh yeah,
but you know that's what hip hop is taking that inspiration and adding your flavor to it.
That's what it's always been. And I see a lot of people, I think, some of the youngsters, and I'm not trying to sound like the motherfucking old head, but they don't understand that this was made from, well, shit, we ain't got no instruments. We ain't even really got no power. There's power at that light post right there, though. Let's plug into this motherfucker and let's use moms and pops records and let's just do some crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
Hip hop, the DJ was everything.
The DJ was everything.
The DJ was all of it. Like, no, bro, what the fuck's the MC? I want this DJ spinning fucking the dopest shit and getting the party lit. And then a DJ started saying, hey.
Yeah, I remember watching an interview with some of the originators of the shit, and they were like, yeah, back then it was like, you wouldn't even hop on the mic unless you were saying like, yo, fucking homie with the car out here, you left your lights on. Type shit, you know, like,
or the cops are coming, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
So
the DJ was everything. That's the foundational piece. And it was from a point of not having a lot.
Yeah.
So you take what you have and you make it your own.
Yep.
That's why it's always been sample driven. It's always been sample driven. It'll always be sample driven. Mm-hmm. But look at how it's evolved, dog. Like you said it
you
yourself.
could take some fresh and
drums. Live, like it's evolved. It can be so much, and I think that's what makes this thing of ours special because it can bleed into every music genre that's existed.
Yeah,
almost nothing else can do that.
Yeah,
hip hop can though.
Hip hop can, and it's still doing it.
Still,
biggest artists in the world. You look at like speaking on that note of inspiration or taking something that was already there and then taking it to another level. Suicide Boys.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like. The Memphis sound.
Yeah.
Bones, you know what I'm saying? Like what they did.
But giving it a whole different twist.
Yeah, exactly. Like as if though we didn't think that 3-6 was already the hardest shit ever.
Yep.
Then add now like the production of today on top of that.
I know.
Like,
and that's another one that built a cult, bro.
Yeah.
You don't hear Suicide, bro. You're not gonna hear Suicide Boys on the fucking radio, bro. Mm-hmm. But they'll come to anybody's town, shut that shit down, and sell out, for sure. With like it's
incredible,
bro. When you build a fan base like that, it's kind of hard to take you out.
Yeah.
If you stay consistent at again, let's go back to the Grateful Dead. I feel like they were one of the first ones that did that. Mm-hmm. Bro, the Grateful Dead was barely on the radio. And they have so many fucking songs, bro. They have live album after live album. People were hitchhiking from the East Coast to the West Coast to go watch every show of these motherfuckers.
Tattoos, babies, fucking drugs, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, like, crazy. And look, I bet you couldn't name one Grateful Dead song, them words. I know it's not really your cup of tea.
Nope.
But
I just know the logo.
There were
the little bears and the skull. Yeah.
They were one of the biggest bands ever.
Yeah.
And they built it the same fucking way.
Yeah.
You've done a couple things with Suicide Boys too, huh?
Well, we went on the Grade A tour. So I was blessed to be able to DJ for an artist by the name of Harper.
Uh-huh.
And I did 2 runs with him. He did a headline tour. And we had support from the homie Simpra. Shout out Simpra from fucking New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And they all make, that similar style music. It's like the underground, like, of now. Mm-hmm. Like, that everybody just goes straight to, like, explaining, like, it's like Suicide Boy shit, you know what I'm saying? But they all have their own, like, way of doing it. Uh-huh. And so Harper has his style. He brought Simpra on for support. And then we did that run together. And then we did a support run for Night Lavelle.
Sick.
Shortly after that. And that was about like 2.5 months, and Germ was on that one.
That's crazy.
And yeah, all those G59 artists, just really dope. And then that turned into being offered the Grade A run. So Harper got booked on the Grade A run, brought me with him, and we got to fucking hop on the road for 3 months.
That was probably fucking nuts.
Yeah, no, it was insane. It was
because those shows are. But again, dog, if anybody was made, like, it's like you've been building the pieces to end up exactly right there at that time, dog.
And on that note, literally, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today if I wasn't blessed with the people that trained me up for it. Mm-hmm. Tuzani, Thomas. Mm-hmm. Literally, like, put me through, like, boot camp. Had the hard conversations, had the fucking the training that goes into being able to handle situations like that and being able to be put into rooms with certain people and to learn how to conduct yourself and to be, coached. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it literally gave me the foundation to be able to take what I do on the level that I did it out here mm-hmm. to the next level. And shout out to my brother Daniel, my blood brother. He's fucking 10 years younger than me. And I remember being with our dad and going into the fucking magazine shop and like he'd be fucking pulling out the High Times with like Sean Paul on it and like fucking being like, yeah, when I'm old enough to smoke weed, I'm gonna smoke weed like Sean Paul. He would tell me, like, he'd be peeping game, you know what I'm saying? Like looking at all the music shit that I was into, and he became a fucking A&R for Empire Records, bro.
Oh, what?
That's dope.
That's fucking
he became
crazy.
A fucking A&R for Empire Records, bro. And he came on as a fucking, took a internship, and it turned into a real job for him, and he's been with them for a number of years now, and he's the best at what he does because he's able to connect talent. He has an ear for shit. He's able to put people with the right people. Mm-hmm. And when he met Harper, he got him a deal, and when he went to have the talk about, touring, he was like, yo, I want to DJ, and my brother's like, I know the guy.
Got you.
Yeah. And fucking, then that turned into that. And I've got to meet just tons of people through that opportunity. Shout out all those guys for opening that door for me and being able to allow me to add my flavor to their shit, because that has always, I feel like for the past, I don't know, I've been doing this shit for like almost 17 years now, but for the past 10 years I feel like I've really taken on the intention of wanting to be able to reintroduce the essence to this genre. I want to be able to show the kids, the kids that love Suicide Boys, that love all that G59 shit, that love fucking Bones, like all those kids that don't or might not necessarily understand where hip hop came from.
Yep.
And I still bring my fucking heavy ass turntables on the road with me. You know what I'm saying? I still want to use the fucking, even though it's Serato nowadays and the technology, I'm still scratching a record. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to show them, and the ones that pay attention, they peep game. They see it.
And it'll stick with them.
Yeah, and then they'll go home and they'll be like, yo, or they'll listen closer. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the scratches in that shit.
They're like, well, and see, that's the thing, bro. A lot of kids, they just don't get it. They just don't. And I mean, it's not really their fault. Like when we were younger, we had like, I hate to go back to fucking MTV, bro, but it's true.
Yeah,
MTV would take you places that you normally wouldn't see or tell stories before the internet. Now those stories are out there, but you gotta go look for them, dog. And if you're a fucking 10-year-old Suicide Boys fan, you're not gonna be like, so Melly Mel, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna really enter your fucking matrix unless someone's like, nah, look, check it out. These are turntables.
Yeah.
This is a mixing board. You know what I'm saying? This you bring this to
this is one CDJ over here.
Yeah.
They might know like
DVD player.
They might know the sound of like chopped and screwed, like that slowed down shit. Like this is how you do it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is how you double the shit up on a fucking record player. You know.
And see, I think I think that's dope as fuck because I feel like our generation, musically, we had some gatekeepers, dog, that didn't want to tell us shit.
Yeah.
We had to fucking really fight to bro, real. I'm like, I remember I was like, so do I double the verse or do I not double the motherfucker? Like, why are you being so vague, bro? What just tell me, dog.
Yeah.
So we had to fight to find these pieces, right?
Yeah.
We had to learn by. That story made me laugh, dog, because while you were saying that, I was thinking to myself, I did the same stupid shit, but as an MC, bro, because I didn't have no beats, right? Yeah. I started rapping when I was like in the 7th grade, so there was no beat CDs, bro. I was driving out here to fucking LA Underground and to fucking right there on San Mateo, Record Roundup, right?
Damn.
There was no beat CDs though, dog. Every now and then you'd get one single that had just the beat, and I'd like keep that shit, right? But I couldn't afford albums. I was stealing them motherfuckers, right? Yep. So what I would do is I had a tape recorder and my Sony boombox that had the removable speakers, with the little wires you can hang in the corner and shit.
Yeah.
So I had that, and I had my my voice recorder. So I would turn on the radio, 97.3. I'm not endorsed, so don't fucking at me. I'd turn on 97.3. They'd be playing a fucking song. It would be a fucking record that I liked, a Tupac record, a Dre record or something. And I'd wait until there was about, I don't know, a bar, 2 bars. I didn't even know what bars were.
Yeah.
And I'd record that moment, right?
Yeah.
And I had that. Then I would throw it on my other side and I'd loop it. So I'd record till it ended and I'd stop. And if you paid attention, you could hear but if I hit it right, it would be like the end of the bar, right?
Yeah.
Boom, boom. So I'd extend it like 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I had a beat. Then I'm like, oh, I got a beat. This records my voice. I'm sitting in my dad's van, bro, in the 7th grade, just fuck you, bitch, suck my dick. Just the craziest fucking, wildest fucking bars you've ever heard in your life. And I used to hide my tape because I'm like, my parents find this shit, I'm fucking cooked.
Yeah.
They're gonna I'm kicked out. There's no way, because it was the wildest shit ever, dog. But it was because there was no other way to do it.
And that's that inspiration. That's that, you know what I'm saying? It's harder and harder to like capture that shit nowadays. But you think back then, like the work that you had to put in to just get something simple like that, but you still put in the time to do it.
So inspired. I was, but when I made a beat, I was like, this is the sickest shit ever.
Do this shit, yeah.
And it sounded like shit. You could hear the click and the stop. I know there's some of those.
When I made a beat.
Yeah, I made, bro. I didn't even need a producer, dog. I just needed a DJ on 97.3, dog.
That's great, dog.
But it was that inspiration, and it was that's when I really started falling in love with it, bro. Because again, like I used to listen to lyrics first, so much so I would kind of ignore the beat sometimes. I could have a dope ass rapper on a fucking trash ass beat, and I'd still fuck with it because the lyrics were dope.
Yeah.
But then once I had to go in and start actually learning about it, I'm like, okay, no, the beat's got to be dope too. I don't give like it's got to be a balance, right?
Oh, for sure.
And it doesn't always just have to be lyrical schmirical shit,
No.
right?
No.
I gravitate towards that,
Especially nowadays.
Yo,
You know?
don't even get me started on that, dog.
Yeah.
It's sometimes there's a way to go too far the other direction too, dog.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But no, it's not. It's like I said. This has turned into so many different branches off of the hip hop rooted tree.
Yeah.
Like you can't put Playboy Cardi in the same conversation with Chino XL.
Oh, fuck no.
How are this isn't? Come on, dog. Like it's from the hip hop branches.
Yeah, it came from the same place.
But it's not the same fucking music, dog. They don't make the same music. They can't be categorized like the same category.
Yeah.
But it's all rooted from the same place. Me as an artist, I tend to gravitate towards like what you're saying, the artists that continuously respect the history of it, and want to keep pushing the
forward.
needle,
Yeah,
right,
pushing it forward, yeah,
without losing the essence of it is.
Yeah, and I think that's what I tend to gravitate to. Mm-hmm. Also, you know, you talk about the Yellow Wolves, you talk about Suicide Boys, all these people. Mm-hmm. It's the people that are pushing it in a direction. You know, it's evolving and
not stagnant.
Yeah,
and not worried to kind of do something a little different.
Yeah,
because right now the popular shit is just sounds exactly the same.
Yeah,
exactly.
Even all the beats too, bro. Everything's
beats
just like programmed. Just like damn.
Who's your favorite new artist? And don't cheat and say artist you're working with, motherfucker. No. I'm talking about popular, out there, outside in the country that everybody's spinning. Who you listening to right now, Jay?
Right now is Dear Silas. He's this dude from Atlanta. He's on some smooth shit.
Never heard of him before.
Really dope, dog.
Dear Silas?
Dear
what would you
Silas,
compare him to? Who would he sound like?
I don't even know, bro. Like it's almost like some Larry June shit. If Larry June could kind of like sing a little bit more, you know.
So Larry June meets Drake from Atlanta.
I don't know. I ain't saying all that. Dog.
Yeah, bro. He watches the pod, Jay, so he's gonna know.
But no, he's really dope, dog. Yeah, for sure. It's like some smooth shit, some pimp shit.
What about you, Stigmata? Who's popular, out now, cracking? That's not like new. What new artist you fucking with right now?
Oh shit. None of them.
That's pretty. Hey, no, listen. You be honest, dog, because it's kind of hard, bro. It is. It's a little muddy out there.
I would say popular. But that's the thing is that's how like. that's how I've always.
You never went that way, anyways.
So people have to fill me in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my daughter, 12. You know what I'm saying? She'll put me on.
Oh, so
but she'll be playing ratchet shit. Like when you talk about rapping, you know what I'm saying? She'll be playing like, you know, all the ratchet female rap. Glorilla and all that shit.
It's kind of weird that they're really the only ones that are still kind of rapping. Right?
Yeah, no. So she did show me a few of them. I can't remember their names off top, but like, there's a few of them that can actually like go off.
They're spitting bars.
Yeah.
Compared to, again, and everybody's gonna. I know you youngsters gonna come for me here, and I might not get on a festival ever, but I just can't really fuck with Playboy Cardi, dog. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just not made for me. I've accepted it.
I couldn't name a song.
The album, I listened to it twice just to make sure I wasn't being a hater, dog.
Yeah.
Right?
I always give
it. It made me feel like I was chewing on tinfoil.
Oh, fuck.
That's like the vibe I left with, right? I was like, why? Yeah. What am I doing? What the fuck is happening here? No, I don't want to do this. I'm out this bitch.
My daughter was showing me shit like Billie Eilish, though. Like, Billie Eilish is dope.
Hey, Billie Eilish is dope.
She is wicked.
She's fucking talented as a motherfucker, bro.
You know, sometimes it's a little bit too calm for me. To put me to sleep a little bit. But she's ultra talented.
And her brother produces all her stuff.
Yeah, Phineas,
that's
right?
what's dope.
Family. Yeah. So, okay, since we're here then, we're talking about everybody, what they're listening to. We've asked almost everybody this question, Stigmata. It's your turn. Top 5 rappers, dead or alive, for you.
For me.
Yes.
Fuck.
I know. I've been saying I'm going to give people a warning with this, but not yet. My bad.
No, it's all good. That's like one of those ones that I feel like there's a few core that always stick with me, but maybe like 3 kind of, you know.
Rotate
or like.
Mine's like that too.
Switch up a little bit every so often. But fuck, I'm going to just say Vinny Paz.
Fire.
Yellow Wolf. Brother Lynch.
Oh shit.
And fuck, the last 2. The last 2 always.
Last 2 are the hardest for me too.
Oh fuck. Ill Bill.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then I'm gonna say Necro, but not for the rap.
Just for
Production.
all around. Okay. I can see it.
He's my favorite of all time, bro. Like, I love his shit.
That's you know what?
And he's a controversial motherfucker.
Oh yeah. Your list matches, dog. I thought you were gonna throw in some wild shit there at the end and be like something that I didn't expect, bro. But that's it.
I also have just like a affinity for East Coast shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, East Coast shit and weird like Southern shit. That's why I love Yellow Wolf so much.
Your
because,
mix.
Like, something about some of that Southern shit just like
it's funny, dog, because like
hits me in the heart.
I started with the East Coast because I went to lyrics, and then when I went to the West Coast, I kind of like stuck because it was the production, was the balance with the lyrics, and some of the shit they were talking about, I was like seeing and like doing and being a part of.
Yeah.
Even if it was in a fucking trailer versus fucking, you know what I'm saying, Compton, or, you know what I'm saying, like New York, I wasn't even close to New York. So when they're talking about like high rises and like their geography, right, didn't match ours.
Yeah, no, they paint a different picture.
A completely different picture that I had never seen before.
Yeah.
So East Coast was a little closer. I mean, West Coast, but it was always, for me, it was West. And then I think, man, I stuck in the Midwest for a little while, dog. Midwest, bro, put out, and because I gravitated to the fast double time. For some reason, I don't know what it was, dog.
Yeah.
I always went to fast double time rap.
Yeah.
Bone Thugs, Tech Nine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy. My 5 always is rotating too. Like them last 2, bro, just kind of move around a little bit. It could be at any different time. But there's a core for me too that just kind of stay there.
Any of those I could just like throw them on any time and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Vinny Paz. Still to this day, crazy.
Man, bro. It's just crazy to think of how this shit has evolved, bro. Like, I think back to when I was like you said, my moms and pops, like, and my cousins, my brothers, playing music, and I was like, I always loved, like, whether it was Spanish, rock, country, I just love music.
Yeah.
Soul music, R&B, whatever it was, I was always gravitating towards it. But I was like, something's got to be mine, right?
Yeah.
And that's when hip hop, bro.
Hip hop, yeah.
The first hip hop, I hadn't heard it before, but the first tape that I owned, my auntie bought it for me without knowing, right?
Yeah.
And I had a Walkman. I don't even try like about like 7 or some shit like that. I got a Walkman and the Sir Mix-a-Lot tape, right? I'm walking.
See, that was our
around.
ratchet shit.
Ratchet. I got my headphones on. I'm walking around, and my tia's like, "Oh, Miko, what are you listening to?" She takes that. She puts it on. She's like, "What the fuck is this?" Because it was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to Baby Got Back on. I'm like, one of those rappers' girlfriends. Bro, I didn't know what my Anaconda don't want none. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. But I was like, bitch, neither does mine. Better have buns, huh? And my auntie was fucking livid, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Because at that time,
that shit bothered motherfuckers.
they thought it was the fucking devil just invade, bro. We were gonna be a cooked generation because of this ratchet ass shit, right? And I'll never forget when my dad told me, he's like, it's not real music because it doesn't have an award or its own award shows. And this was like in 91.
Wow.
I'll never forget it. I was sitting there like, fuck you too, man. It's gonna be bigger than all of the music you ever grew up. You know that combative
we were proud
shit.
about that shit.
This is bigger than anything. I'm like, fuck Bob Dylan and fuck all that. I was just pissed because he was dissing what I felt was mine.
Yeah.
And then years later, bro, I was on the road. It was like my second big tour, and my dad was in the studio with us, and he was watching how we were recording everything. Like, he was just there in it. And he pulled me to the side. He's like, you know what, Hito? I don't admit this a lot, but I was dead wrong. He's
What?
like,
He admitted it?
He admitted it. He's like,
shit.
this is the most amazing shit I've ever seen or been a part of in my life. This is so, he's like, I can't believe this crazy little thing that everybody hated so much when it first came out has turned into what it has turned into.
Yeah.
He admitted, I was like, yeah, I told you, motherfuckers.
I'd be forgetting about that shit too.
Because it doesn't feel real anymore.
Yeah, like some people would be tripping.
Pissed. I used to have to I had to hide them, dog. I remember
There was a lot of music though. Like hip hop for sure, but like Marilyn Manson. God forbid you had a Marilyn Manson CD.
Dog, because you were crazy.
Yeah.
You about to be a fucking
You worship
shooter.
the devil.
Shoot 'em up, bang, bang. You were definitely remember when everybody thought that Marilyn Manson removed his rib to suck his dick?
Yeah.
We just bought that. Like, no one, we're like, yeah, that seems legit. Definitely, you could probably do that.
It's kind of weird, I think.
Yeah, but
all kinds of lore, bro.
okay, bro, he was the dude from fucking from Wonder Years. For years, everybody thought he was the nerdy guy from Wonder Years. Don't you remember?
Oh yeah, there was that.
That was that rumor that he was Marilyn Manson, bro. That was pre-internet days were wild places, brother. All we had was Ask Jeeves and Rotten.com, bro. That's where we got our news from.
And the rest was just a game of telephone.
It was a game of telephone. And by the time it got to you, it was I know the doctor that removed his ribs so he could suck. Like, that's what you need to do. Bro, yeah. Could you imagine? Like, imagine the conversation with the doctor. Yeah, doc, so I'm on some weird shit lately. I really need you to remove 2 of my ribs so I can suck my own dick.
Nowadays, that's nothing.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh, for sure. We could remove your ribs.
You
so
don't
you
need
can
to
suck your
remove your
dick and
ribs.
eat yourself out. How about that?
And you can
How about that?
You can identify as
Cloverleaf. Yeah. Whatever, dog. It's bro. You got the money. We'll fucking do it, dog.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny, bro. So we did a top 5 there, and like I said, we're gonna circle back to the restaurants, and you already dropped it. People know Mary and Tito's in my top 5. I don't give a fuck whether it's northern New Mexico, southern, eastern, western. I don't give a fuck. That shit top 5.
I'll just say from the jump, food in Albuquerque or New Mexico in general, that's how it is. Like, you're gonna go from this block to this block, it's gonna be different.
Completely.
Like, everybody's grandma had a different way of doing it.
Bro, that's why it always tastes different.
And it's just so crazy because it's only like New Mexican food is like 4 different variations of the same 5 ingredients. You know what I'm saying? And like, what can you do with that?
Changed a million different ways.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? You could go to the South Valley and have somebody's grandma cook for you, and it's gonna be delicious, and it's gonna be one way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna go to the north, and you're gonna go to Chimayo, and it's gonna be one way, and it's gonna be delicious. But it's its own. It tastes totally different.
Completely.
But my family is Mary and Tito's.
I'm saying, dog. So I know that's gonna be your number 1, right?
Oh,
and I know you might not want to do promo any other direction.
No, I will.
But you did
I'm gonna
already
do it.
said
I'm
Duran's.
gonna be real.
So
yeah.
I got one more list for you, dog, and I promise it's over, bro.
All
But
right.
I've been waiting, especially because I be talking about Marientitos, and people are like, for real? I'm like, motherfucker, I'm gonna drive you over there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You've never had their red chili? What the fuck is wrong with you, dog? Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
So I get a little heated about it. So I'm glad I got you on to get heated with me.
Yeah. Well, no,
Top 5
Get real about it.
New Mexican restaurants.
Ooh. Mariachitos. Duran's. Garcia's. Now last two again.
It's last two rotate.
It's gonna get sticky. I'm gonna say El Modelo, Borellis.
Those are fire ass choices, bro. I ain't even gonna
Bro,
lie.
I kind of forget about Modelo because I'm
Modelo,
not
down there.
there, bro.
Yeah.
Barelas.
And I could keep going too.
Oh,
got problems.
keep going.
Like,
Hey, you know what? I'm telling you right now.
Kathy's carry out.
Kathy's, bro. You
Best
know
red
what-
chili burger in town, bro. You can't fuck with that thing.
You know what we're gonna get? I'm telling you right now, I promise you. When we drop this, you gotta be in the live because there's gonna be our southern audience that'll be like, all these burqueños, they always just say the Albuquerque ones. It's never anything else. Hey, and bro, since I made my list, right?
Oh shit.
They always every time they're like, yeah, we come down south and we'll. I know I haven't
that's
ate
true.
at every New Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
I can only list ones I ate at. My favorite.
True. That's my whole thing too. I could keep going. I could go to Santa Fe.
Oh,
You know what
yes,
I'm saying?
bro.
I could go.
Santa Fe got some heaters too.
I haven't eaten enough down south. I know that the homies have definitely like mentioned some spots. They took me to one spot. Like it was good. You know what I'm saying? But like
Our chili it's weird because down south, where we get all of our green chili from, like you said, it's mad different.
Yeah.
And that's not even, but we're still in the same state, my dog.
Yeah.
The way that they do things, like the way that they cook some of the dishes down there down south, is mad different than how we do it up here.
yeah.
And it tastes
100%.
different.
100%.
It's still good, but it just tastes
It's just
different.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with the homies up in Pueblo. Like I've said 1,000, I love y'all, but your green chili is not. I'm sorry, dog. Go ahead.
People be doing weird shit with it.
Be doing. It was sweet. I'm like, what the fuck am I eating here, dog? It's supposed to be a breakfast burrito. It tastes like a fucking cinnamon roll. What the fuck's happening
Yeah.
here?
No, for sure. Yeah. But you know, that's what's beautiful about it.
That's a solid list, bro. After I made my list, everybody's fucking livid that I put. What's the bougie ass restaurant that we go for the like layout of it? Now I can't even remember
El
it.
Pinto?
El Pinto.
Yeah.
Okay. I love going to El Pinto because it's such a dope ass vibe, right? I didn't realize that they were wilding out during COVID. They were charging people for like toilet paper and shit like that. Some crazy shit.
I was literally about to take it right there.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that.
Some of these places be charging crazy amounts of money
Tripping.
for fucking cheese and tortillas.
And you're a
chili.
chef. You're a chef too, huh?
So I mean, yeah, we're talking all this shit, but that is like what I did
That's
for
what I'm
the
saying.
majority of my life is I cooked, bro. I fucking grew up in Mariachitos. I grew up like in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? On both sides of my family, my Nana Dolores, she taught me how to make tortillas. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, like that's what I did to support myself for like my entire life. Basically, is I just cooked.
That's crazy.
I remember being at the skate park, fucking being a little knucklehead teenager, and my Nana Mary called me one day, and she was like, "You want to get in the kitchen? Get the fuck over here! I just had to fire Tony." She's like, "I need somebody to help out, and you need to wash dishes." And fucking, she threw me in the back, and I washed dishes, and I learned how to prep.
That's dope.
And you know, family business is crazy. I ended up fucking getting in beef with the fam, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck up out of here. And I fucking was like, I'm gonna show all them type shit. And I went and I fucking got a job at Scalo.
That's crazy.
And I was probably like, 18 or some shit. And then I just like took it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I decided to like be a chef and like pursue a cooking career. You know, be a dope cook. And yeah, I fucking went on and ended up working at Los Poblanos for upwards of almost 12 years, bro. I was there.
I remember that.
And it was all because I was working with my good close friend and longtime chef, Jonathan Pernod, and he was just a badass. And I followed him around from Scalo to Los Poblanos. And yeah, that was what I did for a long time. Is I cooked, and I went on that show Chopped. I was on Chopped.
You were on Chopped Damn, was all of fucking Albuquerque on fucking Chop, bro?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, for real. The homegirl from fucking Bocadillos.
Yeah, bro. Chef Marie.
Chef Marie.
Homie Mark was on it, bro. The more we're talking food, the more I'm realizing, bro, they're down here looking at our food, bro.
Oh, yeah.
All these
100%,
big ass
always.
shows, bro. That's the last thing I expected you to say, dog.
They did
Holy
an
fuck.
episode on like cooks that work on farms. So because I worked at Los Blancos at the time, fucking, I remember I walked into work fucking running late as usual, and fucking my chef Jonathan at the time, he ran a fucking tight ship, you know. He was a scary motherfucker. It's like walking in that kitchen, you felt the presence of that motherfucker. And I remember walking in late one day, and he was like, "Yo, you ever go on that show Chopped?" And I was like, "I mean, I'm sure I would, yeah, sure." And he was like, "There's somebody on the phone for you."
Oh shit.
And fucking, he just handed me the phone. And so, long story short, he hated publicity. And they wanted him to go on that shit. And he literally made a split-second decision. He was just like, "I don't want to go on that shit. I want you to go on that shit."
That's fucking wild, bro.
And fucking, he put me in touch with those people, and you know, they had me on, and it was a dope-ass experience.
I was about
You
to
know
say,
I'm
what was that like? Like, what did they have you do on it?
It's that mystery basket shit. So they give you fucking 3 different baskets or whatever, 3 rounds, and they give you a mystery basket. You got to fucking create a dish with the mystery
what's
ingredients, and you have a time constraint.
Do they like do it in your like wheelhouse? Like, is it like, okay, he's from New Mexico, this is what he cooks, or is it just like free for all?
It's whatever, but they have like themes though. So like the one that I was on was called Betting on the Farm.
Okay.
And it was all cooks that had worked at restaurants or, you know, some sort of like place where it was like farm to table type shit. And they had me on there fucking, and the theme was just like farm shit.
What'd you cook?
I had to cook chicken for the first round. It was an appetizer, and then I had to cook lamb for the second round, and then I got chopped.
At the lamb?
Yeah. and bro, yeah, it was that was a whole ass experience. Fucking, it was like, you know, it's like it's the fucking showbiz, you know what I'm saying? So
Reality show.
motherfuckers behind the scenes are like on some shit. Those judges didn't like me, I don't think, bro. Straight up, they didn't like me. They fucking. You gotta watch the episode. I'll let you form your own opinion.
My brother is becoming
all my people that watch that shit get physically angry, bro. It's
because of how they're acting.
Yeah, like they get crazy. But
that's becoming a common theme.
But shout out Chopped, they fucking made me look great. You know what I'm saying? Like, they fucking like showed me as a dad, you know. So they had me do the interviews, and fucking like they got all sides of my shit, you know what I'm saying? They got my whole background, so they had me show them do the DJ shit. They came to the crib, they had me do like a little DJ routine.
They did all of it. Kind of like a little documentary about your whole background.
Yeah, my whole background, and then they had me do a bunch of shots with my daughter, you know what I'm saying?
Sick.
So they turned me into like this is the best dad.
Oh, no.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They took all the DJ shit. They were like, no, we can't talk about that shit.
No, he's a great dad.
Yeah, exactly. So
They've seen all the tats. They're like, nah, look, he's a dad.
Yeah, exactly. And they made me look really good. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
They did their thing, and it was a dope opportunity. I got to spend 2 weeks in fucking New York, and like.
So they fly you out, take care of all of it?
Not really. It was more like applying for a job.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had to get your ass out
Again,
there.
shout out Thomas Tuesday. And I remember he was over at I was fucking young, bro. He was over at my crib, like showing me how to write this resume up and shit. We were like making sure I looked good, bro. And fucking, they got me on there, and it was a dope experience. You know, they paid me like some fucking shit after I came home, but I just made sure I made the most of it. And fucking, I mean, my best friend Colin went out there with me, and he made reservations at the fucking most baller ass fucking Michelin restaurants, and like we got to try that shit, and that made it worth it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. Like,
well, at least they didn't make you look crazy, because you know how it is. Reality shows, bro, they could paint you. We just had.
They were asking me crazy questions. They literally was like, put me on the spot. They were like, "What is that? A girlfriend's name on your face right there?" And I was like, "No, that's my daughter's name." I was like, "Only she gets real estate like that."
They wanted you to slip up.
They were kind of like. They asked me a bunch of questions about the gathering, and they didn't fucking post none of that shit.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, because they probably were like,
homie knew about juggalos and shit. He was like one of the judges.
That's wild,
and,
bro.
He asked me all kinds of crazy gathering questions, and they didn't fucking put none of that shit on there.
I bet you they were trying, because think about it. you think about it like from a production standpoint, like you got to have a good guy, a bad guy, a crazy bitch, a soft person, someone that's crying.
I did that shit.
You see what I'm saying? It has to be like
the one was crying.
characters, right? You gotta have characters. And I didn't watch. We just had Chef Mark on, and I didn't watch his. Was it Gordon Ramsay? It was Hell's Kitchen,
He's
right?
been on a shitload of shows.
A bunch. I didn't watch Hell's Kitchen. I mean, I don't really watch those shows. Really, I don't really watch reality television like that. But I did watch Flavor of Love and all them joints, so I understand the concept of it, right? You gotta have the villain, and I didn't realize he was saying he's all, look, bro, I'm the same as I am here. Like, they tried to make him look like a crazy fuck, right?
I swear they had bets between each other behind the scenes because they were trying to home me, bro. They were like,
really?
They were like explaining my dish, and I'd like try to. It seemed like conversation, you know what I'm saying? But then all of a sudden they'd cut me off and be like, "Yo, like if you're not gonna let us talk, what's the point of this?"
For real?
Like to try to like they'd one up each other on like the disses, and they'd do it to everybody. They'd fucking like
to get you to like to shake you up.
Yeah, literally for the camera. It was crazy.
Yeah, reality television. That's crazy. I swear to God, now that I'm thinking about it, I should start watching these fucking shows because everybody from Albuquerque at least got one.
Yeah.
That's fucking
And they never have me back for no redemption. Where you at, Chop?
Yeah, that's fucked up. The reunion show. I seen, bro, even Jersey Shore has reunion shows. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. You miss cooking or you still cook like that?
I cook at home. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy cooking for my family. Don't do it enough, but it definitely we're cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you got a passion for cooking just like you do with music.
For sure. Yeah, food's like, man, food's everything.
You
know?
can't grow up at fucking Marientitos and not have a passion for food, dog.
Bro.
So the fucking question is that here we go, one more list, dog. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Red or green?
Red.
That is fucking 3 in a row. Count it, audience. I think the audience, okay, I think y'all are starting to think that we're bashing on green. This is not what the fuck we're saying here. Listen, red chili is from green chili, so let's get that out the way.
If you ask me that same question in green chili season, I'll say green. Because there's a way.
You know what homie told me? Oh, I can't remember who the fuck it was, but he said, and I didn't think of it like this. He said, green for chicken, red for beef.
Yeah, I've heard, I could do that.
I'm like, all right, bet. I get that. I do.
But if I go to Duran's, I'm getting a chicken enchilada plate with red.
Dog, it's red. I say, and I've said this again, this is the fucking 100th time you guys are going to hear it. You can't accidentally make good red chili, bro. You got to know what you're doing. You can accidentally make some good green chili. Yeah. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to kill it with green chili.
I'm just going to say the less you do, the better.
With all of it.
All of it.
I agree.
Let it shine. But yeah, in green chili season, you put the fucking fresh roasted green chili with like fresh chopped garlic and a little tomato and salt and a tortilla.
There's nothing like it.
That's all you need.
Bro, I love having we have like 2 pounds spread out on the table and we're just fucking bagging that shit up, bro. Just garlic right here by the side, splitting it in half. It's still warm, fresh off the grill. Come on,
nothing
dog.
like that.
Nothing like it. I'll eat like a whole fucking half a pound of myself. Just fucking
fuck your shit up.
Myself the next day, bro. Where you at? I'm on the toilet. It's green chili season. Leave me the fuck alone.
But fucking shoot it.
It's like, it's just, there's something about it, right? And I love green too. And again, audience, you guys, because this is the third, but this is coming from real chefs too. And I think it's because it takes more to make good red chili. That's how I'll judge a restaurant. Like the first time I went down to Church Street, right?
Oh shit.
I hadn't.
That's one.
I mean, that one's another one, dog. It's funny because as a kid, we wouldn't go to Church Street. We would go to Duran's or to we would either go to Duran's or Garcia's. Yeah. Right, as a kid. Yeah. So I never really went to Church Street until like a little bit later on. So when I went in, I'm like, all right, this is an old town, right in the heart of it. I want red everything. Let's see what's popping.
Yeah.
That red chili kind of smacks too down there, bro.
It does.
It does. They have, I get their sopapilla burger over there. Fuck, bro. Yeah. That's what everybody always says. Like, what about a green chili cheeseburger? What about a red chili sopapilla burger, my dude?
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Shit.
Smothered.
No lie, I fucking had Stuffies today.
Hey, just Stuffies, bro, at the right time, bro, smacks.
Yeah,
it does. I've had good and bad, but that's with a lot of restaurants.
100%.
Like I went to Don't Hate Me, Golden Pride, man, Golden Pride wasn't hitting the other day, dog.
Yeah, I got some Carnival burritos from there the other day, and they didn't hit that.
Wasn't hitting. I got the fucking the soft taco. Motherfucker was like a big ass soggy burrito. That shit was wildin'.
I love this shit. We've been talking about wanting to do this shit for a minute. It would just be real with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's the thing that's the thing just in general. You talk about, like, cooks or being a chef or being, you know, into restaurants or food. It's about consistency.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Even if it's not the best shit, how consistently can you do it?
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, literally. That's the question you should ask motherfuckers. What? Bob's or Julian's?
Ooh, that is a good fucking question.
Julian's.
You're going Julian's?
Julian's.
Where are you going? Bob's or Julian's?
Hands
down.
Yeah, you can't.
They're both consistent.
Yeah.
We got to say, and man, but sometimes
there's
Bob's,
lore around that too. I want to know the truth. We got to get to the fucking bottom.
And they're quiet about it, dog.
Yeah. Is that Bob's brother? Is it a strange brother?
Is it? Are they cousins?
Do they have beef?
Right.
Did somebody steal the real recipe?
There's got to be beef, right?
One spicier than the other.
One spicier than the other.
And one makes their tortillas or makes their shells themselves there instead of pre-made. Yep. That's Julian's, and that's why they win for me.
That is exactly why they win for me too. 100%. Couldn't have said it any better.
The other day I had Bob's, and the corn tortilla had a taste, bro. I was just like stale chip, you know? It's like the fucking those pre-made fucking
in those giant
boxes,
fucking bags of the tacos.
Like shells.
Yeah.
It didn't taste right.
The bags reach the ceiling. They're huge as fuck. They used to use them out there at Taco Village.
I'd rather have the grease. Give me the grease.
Give me the grease because there's a different flavor to it, bro. It's crazy as fuck, dog. You know the homies Doomsday from out there in Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where the fuck was the name of the goddamn? It was. I cannot for the life of me think of what the fuck the club was on San Mateo right across the street from Peter Piper. It's going to piss me off, dog. But that was the tour that we were on. I feel like, or it was with a D. We're complete. I mean, at least they're close in letters. I didn't say Z, right?
Fuck.
Or X. But I can't remember. But we were on the road with them, and Doomsday was down here with us. And they're like, yeah, my boy Mero told us about green chili. And he said we had to go to Bob's. So we take them to Bob's.
Okay.
And this is where our part of the tour ended here. We stayed here, and they went on to do Pueblo, Denver, Fort Collins. They went up that route.
Yeah.
So we stayed here, and they're like, we want extra green chili on everything. We want the green chili cheese fries. We got I'm like, y'all need to chill out, bro.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we want the hottest that you got. And they had never had
Bob's can be hot.
Bro. And they had never had green chili before in their fucking life, bro.
Shit.
My dog, they made it to Santa Fe before the whole bus had to pull over and everybody was shitting themselves, dog. Everybody was. I told him, and so did Romero. He's like, listen, bro, this is a little different. This isn't like a jalapeno. This isn't like a fucking
Texas
bell
chili,
pepper Texas chili.
Yeah.
And they got it smothered. And they're like, this is fire. We get it. And I'm just sitting there. I was like, this is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
These
I always wonder.
motherfuckers
There's
gonna
motherfuckers
regret
that can
it.
handle it, and there's motherfuckers that just can't.
Especially if you've never had it.
Yeah.
You gotta ease in, bro. You don't go to Bob's and order extra hot green on everything.
No.
Crazy work. Me and Metal were like, these motherfuckers are cooked. They're done. They never came back. I think they were like, we don't need it. We're gonna go around New Mexico this time.
Yeah, there's some fuckers that talk shit because, you see it on the internet, you know, be like, this motherfucker's talking about putting it on everything, and we do, but, you know.
We do it right, though.
Yeah.
Whenever someone tells me, they're like, oh, man, New Mexican food, all you guys do is fucking drench it in green chili or red chili. No, we don't. Where did you eat? Who fed you, my dude?
Yeah. We got options.
Yeah, like, where did you go eat this horrible New Mexican food at?
Yeah.
Because, bro, it's not about where you're from, it's where you're at. And when you go to a different place, you should know, the first thing I do when I get to like a new state or a new town or whatever, I'm like, what do you guys eat over here? What you guys go to?
Yeah.
Well, went to Florida the first time. I'm like,
that's a good question to ask.
What's your guys' food? Like, what's popping? Everybody was like, well, like Cuban food and key lime pie. Key lime pie. I'm like, key lime pie? What the fuck are you guys talking about? They're like, telling you,
try it?
Cuban food and key lime pie. And look, I don't even really like key lime pie like that,
But
right?
it's different.
That shit.
But where it's from.
Hit, my dude. I was sitting there like, I bet. Key lime pie. I rock with this shit, Florida.
Yeah.
But I think when you're on the road and you're doing that, that should be like a core question.
Yeah.
What do you guys eat? Don't take me to Applebee's, bruh. The fuck?
No, for sure.
Take me to your Marientitos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how you find out. You don't go, like, you don't drive in and just find a fucking fast food New Mexican restaurant and judge all of the dishes based off of the Garcias on San Mateo.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
You got to find where the locals go.
Don't do
Go
that.
where the
Especially
locals.
not that one.
No, that's the worst. That's the worst one.
That's the worst one,
That's the
bro.
worst one. They are. You talk about consistency.
Yeah.
That is consistently inconsistent. dog.
Wait, which one?
The one on San Mateo with the drive up.
Oh, fuck
Right
no.
by Peter Piper's.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a minute.
No, dude.
Yeah.
I live by there and I don't go in that motherfucker,
fuck
dog.
no, yeah.
Well, I'll drive up to the one on fucking Guantanamo before I go to that one, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all go to that Garcia's over there?
Are you? Don't be doing it. You doing that?
Nah.
Okay. He's like, nah, not now. I used to. I was doing it, but damn.
Hey, shit, that's how we hold these restaurants accountable. You got to get your shit
have to,
together.
dog.
Motherfuckers don't want to work nowadays, though.
So, Stigmata, before we get out of here, my dog, what is next, my brother? What you got on the agenda coming up in the 25, 26 to the 30,000s, bruh?
Man, I'm taking a break. This last tour kicked my ass.
Yeah?
No, I actually have to have fucking sinus surgery.
Damn.
My shit's all fucked up. I came back from tour like sick as fuck and found out that I have to like get like some nose surgery. So I'm gonna do that shit real quick.
Well, I mean, finding out that you need to get nose surgery because you're sick versus being like Charlie Sheen out that motherfucker is a little better, right?
Thank
Because you
God.
could have been saying that, like, yeah, we was out there wilding, dog. My sinus cavities are cooked, my dude. We were out there on the Charlie Sheen vibes.
Bro, yeah, no, our whole bus got sick as fuck.
Damn.
Like, the last 2 weeks, like the majority of us got just sick, and fucking the flu wiped us out, fucked me up, got me all nasally and fucking having migraines and
How
shit.
many days was the tour?
2.5 months.
Fuck.
Or, look, yeah, well, I was gone for about 2.5 months.
How many shows total, you remember?
But that's the thing. We only did like 28 shows. But, you know, there's a lot of breaks in between.
A lot of time in between.
Yeah, you know, some travel time and days off. But, man, it's fun, bro. Being on the road's so fun. But, yeah, it's a lifestyle.
It kicks you in the fucking ass if you don't do it right.
So, yeah, I'm gonna do my nasal surgery. I'm gonna fucking, you know, be in the gym, be in the studio, you know. And then see what comes up during the fall. I'll be doing some shows around town too. You know what I'm saying? We got some shit coming up with, you know, just like some of the bigger artists that come to town. We'll fucking, you catch some DJ Stigmata sets.
Yeah,
you know?
bro.
We're going to be rocking with Ben Sheldon,
Hell
Tuesday
yeah.
crew. Fucking, we've been vibing in the studio again, fucking making little videos and shit. Go check out the Instagram.
It's
know,
dope, bro. When X came through, he showed us some of what Benz was working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
Ben Sheldon got it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's dope, dog. Like, you know, when all the internet shit started cracking for my fucking wild ass, I had just finished Zia's Son, but
Okay.
COVID had hit.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sitting there ready to hit the road. It was me, Stevie, and Mad Child were gonna do a tour, right? We were ready to hit the road
Yeah.
when COVID hit, and I had an album done. And I'm just like kind of sitting there like, could you imagine people think their grandpa's gonna die from COVID? And I'm like, by the way, guys,
My tour's coming.
Zia's Son, purchase it now. I know we're not on the road, but go download my album. Like it went, and it's crazy because like I think it forced all of us to kind of look at ourselves and be like, who the fuck am I? What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
What's going on, right?
Yeah.
And in that time frame, my oldest was the one that told me, Dad, get on TikTok, bro.
Yeah.
Start
Doing different
do
shit.
this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? That looks fucking nuts, bro. I'm not
That's what
gonna
we did. We
dance on
fucking live
TikTok.
streamed,
You know what I
all
mean?
that shit, doing
Bro,
mixes,
Tech did that
you know
live
what I'm
stream
saying?
show. No one had done that, bro. Tech
Yeah.
had all of his artists down there at fucking Strangeland, and they were live streaming concerts. It was fucking genius.
Yeah.
It forced you to evolve, right?
That's tough.
Yeah.
And then
Hella
when-
practice. That's what it turned into for me.
bro.
My barber James would always remind me of that shit. He would be like, "Bro, that's where you fucking like, you realize how much you went live during that whole time."
And it was all, and you were live and you were practicing.
Yeah.
I had to see, and usually I'd bought all my studio equipment, but like I was still relying on Jay, on other engineers to hit record and like be there in the sessions.
Yeah.
Bro, I went in and we pretty much re-recorded the entire album, but I did it alone. I recorded myself and then I would send it to Jay.
Yeah.
Right? And he'd be like, oh, this is dope. We could use this. Boom, 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 boom. But I recorded fucking 90% of the vocals on there, would you say, Jay?
Yeah, probably.
At least 85, something like that.
Yeah.
So it forced me to get better at my craft too.
Yeah, you had to dive in.
And then since the internet shit was fucking cracking and we were going viral, when it was time to release it, it just went, it fucking exploded.
Yeah.
Because I had leverage and we had like shit moving around, dog. It was crazy.
No,
but then
I look back at COVID. COVID was awesome.
we've been saying this, bruh. I know for me and mine's, we thrived, bro.
Yeah,
we did.
I mean, it was hard for a lot of people, no doubt.
Yeah.
But like, I just think back at the time for like the point in time, it was like time at home with your family, cooking, fucking.
Yeah. I would capitalize
shit was very
on it so much
unsure.
right now again.
Oh yeah, I think we all would.
Yeah.
Then they were sending
You know
us
what I
checks.
mean? Like-
They're like, "Here's your check. Stay home."
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, another 500. Let's go. Keep running. Keep running. I think I feel the same way, and I told my boys in it too, like because my oldest son had graduated. Which that for me, when I look back at it, that's the part of it that pisses me off, and like as a dad, right?
Yeah.
Because my son got all the way through school, dog, and he, the graduation ceremony is like the cap off,
Yeah.
right? And they didn't get it, bro. He had to pull up with a mask to the front of the school in his fucking graduation gown to get his diploma.
Fuck.
Take a picture.
And take a picture. Yeah. And then everybody drove by the house honking, waving like, man, I got a weak immune system. Happy graduation, motherfucker. That part to me now looking back.
That shit sucked.
It pissed me off as a dad. Like, I'm like, fuck, man. I low-key want to throw him his, like, own graduation at, like, 25. Look, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
COVID fucked it up. Here, happy graduation, motherfucker.
It was a crazy time thinking about
weird.
it. It was so crazy.
I think
there was mad frustrating shit about it, but there was, like, mad good shit about it, too.
Oh, and again, that's why I went to that. My son graduated, so he was, out the house. See you later. It gave me an extra, like, 2 years, year and a half with him.
Yeah.
Where it was just us. I couldn't go on the road, dog.
Yeah.
Like no one was doing shit. Everybody was home from school, so it gave us like a year and a half of just getting on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
In a dope way.
No, for sure. Yeah, shit. I had my daughter with me even when we were still going to work. Kind of. She'd be rolling with me.
Dope,
It was
bro.
crazy. Yeah.
I look back and I miss some of it, but I'm glad. I think again, it
survived some crazy shit, bro.
Either was gonna make you or break you.
Yeah.
It was either going to make you better or worse.
Yeah, true.
I think for the most people that I know and the people that I've talked to, I haven't seen somebody that it made worse.
Yeah.
In my personal circle.
There was a lot of growth though. Uncomfortable shit everybody had to go through.
Hey, that's the only way you fucking grow, my dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stigmata.
Literally.
My brother. I appreciate the fuck out of you. That was fun as hell.
Hell yeah, dog.
We got to run back another episode. We'll give some time, bro. A couple more episodes down.
Yeah.
We just got to come back up in here and talk some more shit. I know we got some more ICP shit to talk about. We didn't get a chance to talk about Carnival Carnage.
We could go on.
I didn't know we were going to spend 30 minutes in the beginning talking about it, Len Words.
Hey, that's,
whatever.
That's the roots.
That's the roots.
That's all right.
You guys ready to get the fuck up out of here or what? Until next time, respect the connect.
Yeah.
Peace.
It's Picker than Nick.